guys, I am Chris Kaler.
And I'm Amber Kyuujin cosplay, and it is spooky season because tonight we are doing Midnight Mass.
Yes, this show was recommended to us both online and well through Netflix because Netflix thinks that we should watch this show heavily.
A lot.
We try not to spoil ourselves too much. We didn't read much about the synopsis.
Nope.
We know it was done by the guy that did Hill House and Bly Manor.
And the movie Hush.
And yes, and which is funny because in the movie Hush, the book that the main character wrote is also called Midnight Mass, so that's pretty cool.
Yes.
Maybe a hint, maybe he knew he was going to do that eventually and that's why he placed that there, but still. We know the show is inspired by a book. We know that there's a priest that shows up in a village.
And stuff happens.
And stuff happens. Because, I mean, that's pretty much all we read. And it's horror show. It's a horror show. And that's all we need to be interested in something. Apparently it's good. So we're very excited to watch this. Kind of like with Squid Game, we want to finish this for Halloween. So have the finale, you know, be uploaded on Halloween.
Hopefully we will succeed.
So. It's only 7 episodes. So, I mean, I think we could manage it. But yeah, we'll keep our fingers crossed, and that's about it. So I say we jump into this new journey with you guys. Hopefully you're in for the ride, and don't forget to subscribe if you want to know when these episodes are gonna come out. Check out our Patreon for the full reactions.
All right,
let's go.
Let's do this.
Walking barefoot by a stream, on my face is in a dream.
Oh boy. Drunk driver? Oh, he's the priest.
Alright.
Ask him why he always takes the kids. While the drunk folks walk away with scratches.
Good question. So now, is that why he moves to the little town?
Trying to make amends?
Yeah. This reminds me of Hill House. The cinematography. It's a nice touch, the glass all over her that kind of reflects the police lights. And you would be seeing that face forever. At least, honestly, you would deserve it. We're gonna get a bunch of Christian music.
Spooky stuff always happen in the small towns?
Because it's the small towns. You're cut off from the rest of the world. In horror movies or TV shows, like as soon as I see, you know, whenever I see something like that, I think of what a perfect place to put a body. Thanks, Sweeney Todd.
Well, banging and drunk.
Big enough for a body.
There's someone inside. We heard a banging, right?
Could have been a rat. Could have been a demon.
You bring a life jacket?
What?
A life jacket.
No. Are you serious? Hey, if we flip, don't get your foot under the seat, you'll drown. It's not the way to go.
This is like a thing we've been doing for generations, man. So you fuck this up, you tell your dad, it's gonna be bad for you, man.
Of course I'm not gonna tell my dad. What is this? No, thanks. You don't drink?
Not that one. Usually we just come up here, smoke a joint. He starts pining after Roa girl.
Considering you had to come here by boat at night, I would say it's a pretty bad idea to be drinking and smoking here. It's bound to lead to an accident.
Yeah.
Oh.
There's something else inside the bushes, though.
Shit, they're fighting.
Oh. That wasn't a cat.
Way bigger than a cat.
Let's go.
Oh, my boy, home. Where you belong. Oh, let's get you fed. You gotta eat.
Just you, where's Dad? More.
Well, you know, they're on the boat. He just can't miss a shift. Not a single one.
Yeah.
He can't afford it, but let's get you home.
I can't say I blame him much. Like, especially since they're, you know, very into religion. You add to that the fact that the guy was drinking, he killed someone, went to prison. Like, the dad is probably not proud much.
Whoa, easy, big fella, easy, hello.
Snapped at me. Snapped right at me. Just passing by.
Mike didn't snap. He's just big is all. He just sounds
Even he's
bigger
a
than
bad
he
boy.
means to.
Snapped. Thought he might have a go at my hand if I reached out. I'm
Well, don't
telling
reach
you,
out.
Sheriff, it's a menace.
Sorry, Miss King was just waiting for his dad.
She reminds me of the old woman in Mist.
Yeah. She might be trouble.
Like the one that's over the top Christian.
Which means she's gonna be trouble later on.
Probably.
How often do you have to go to the mainland?
Once a week. AA meetings. Part of the deal, condition of my parole.
Warren, how was your day? How was school?
It was good. Miss Green was mostly on about the storm.
Screen. That old bird still teaching?
Nah,
I did not
Old Miss
recognize the
Green
dad,
died
so the
last
makeup is good.
This is the new Miss Green, her daughter.
Aaron's back?
I meant to tell you about that. She's only been back a few months. She moved into Peggy's house. It was so nice to have someone move to the island. And a young person at that.
Oh my god, that's true.
Where from? What's she doing?
Oh, I suppose you'd have to ask her.
Did she move because she's pregnant? And she's alone here.
Prodigal daughter. You'll see her tomorrow, in fact.
Tomorrow.
At church.
I wasn't planning on going to church.
What?
Don't be silly.
Things have changed for me, Ma. I'm not... That's not me anymore.
Well, see, Monsignor Pruitt said before he went on pilgrimage, he said...
He's a little bit old to be traveling. I mean, he's gonna be 80 now.
Well, the whole congregation pitched in. Well, he spent his whole life on the island, and the chance to walk in Jesus' footsteps, in his actual footsteps.
And he didn't show up, so is he alive?
He held up the host 3 times during consecration
Did he
the other day.
die
I
on
felt
the Holy
ridiculous
Land?
from ringing the bells.
Well, we all have our moments.
People have been seeing him wandering around at night, like midnight, at the marina, the docks, the general store.
Did you see him,
Mass?
Warren? Do you know it was him?
No, I'm sure it was just some other 80-year-old man wearing a fedora and the long coat he always wears.
And dressed like the priest in The Exorcist do?
We're practically steering him around the altar half the time.
That is not true.
Come on, you can't fool the altar boys.
You a thurifer?
That's right.
Never had any ambitions past acolyte myself. No one likes a downwardly mobile altar boy. I was really only in it for the chicks. You know, man in uniform. It's not funny.
Our dad used to be an altar boy when he was younger.
Yeah, it was his
You sit here
dream
at this table.
in his graduation
After
book.
what you- After
We
what
make
you've
fun of
done?
that a lot.
Things change, right?
And say, oh, church isn't for me. And make jokes about altar boys and Monsignor Pruitt. You are going to church tomorrow, Riley. And every other Sunday. I don't care if your heart's not in it or the mood doesn't strike you. You can consider it a condition of your parole.
You need to make amends, basically. I mean, someone needs to be doing that. It's just that it's always her.
I mean, there's nothing wrong with doing it. It's just the way she's doing it that is kind of bothering.
You just feel that she'd be nitpicking at everyone. No! If we're about to kill cats on this show, run! John would be happy with that. No! I hate to see, cats and dogs and then animals suffer.
You know what they said about the bodies going up from the flood and being cat food?
Yeah, yeah.
But now the cats are food now.
So church isn't for you, huh? No, it's not for me. You should sit back then during communion. That's proper. That'll upset your mother. You not taking the sacrament, but wouldn't be respectful if you did. Okay.
I mean, it's a compromise.
Good night.
He's trying. It's awkward as fuck, but he's trying. Every day. He was thinking of a church full of blood. Kind of like he would be tainting the church.
I was to get a vision of what's about to happen.
Oh, come on, stop it with the powers.
You want to feel the cruets?
Don't get drunk on the holy wine.
Somebody already did.
Hey. They don't want to show him to us.
Not yet.
Think of our fathers living still.
This show is giving me flashbacks of our childhood.
It's the new hot priest, right?
I mean, you could have announced yourself. You could have, I don't know, told people. They're all surprised.
I'm Father Paul Hill, and I was sent by the diocese to fill in for Monsignor Pruitt for a few weeks. He fell ill, I'm afraid, on his trip. He's fine. He's
in
recovering
chess.
in a hospital on the mainland. He's better off island.
I'm gonna start questioning him every episode. Are you even a priest?
Just know, take this, all of you, and drink from it. This is my blood, the blood of the new and everlasting covenant. It will be shed for you and for all, so that sins may be forgiven.
Yeah. He hasn't been able to forgive his own sins, so he sees himself as tainted and haunted by what happened. I think he doesn't see himself in the church because he sees that as, it's not going to lead to nothing, and it's like he doesn't belong there anymore. It's like he's tainting the place.
Prodigal son.
Can I walk you home?
Yeah. Let's walk.
She probably hates these two, like the single mother who apparently ran away and then came back pregnant. The guy who got drunk and killed someone. Yeah.
In New York.
Together also.
I'm guessing there's gonna be some gossip tomorrow, right?
Can I ask you something? Forgive me, I don't mean to... It's just you're wearing a gold chasuble today. Isn't that for feast days and special... Shouldn't it be green today?
Maybe it's a special occasion that he knows
I'm
about.
afraid I wasn't able to locate the green chasuble this morning. Perhaps Monsignor Pruitt, he stored it somewhere unusual given his mental state before he left.
Well, in the future, let me know if there's an issue. That's what I'm here for.
The nitpicking actually came in handy there.
I'm sure I'll find it.
Basically, he's gonna be like, she needs to be the first to die. She needs to go. She knows too much. Oh, it's empty. So, did you dump the body? I'm gonna stay with my theory of a body in there.
Maybe he did dump a body, and
then-
the body was the thing that the kids saw on the island.
There's dirt on the floor, so like, if there was something in there, he went and buried it somewhere. So then if he went and buried it, and then it washes up to our house... It is
That's
violent.
a huge storm right there. I'm kind of glad that where we live. Whoa.
Is it the priest? Oh, the fedora.
I think that's a ghost, maybe.
I mean, it's the old man. It's supposed to be him. Sorry, we're at the end. Oh, it walks weird. Sorry,
It
it's
did look human.
it's the thing we saw, I think, on the other places. Was it an island? Yeah, no, it's too suspicious. It's not something. It's not someone.
Who said that Monsignor was dead but came back to life somehow?
Zombie? A zombie thing? Maybe. Oh my god.
That's a bunch of cats, right?
Yep. That's when you should probably be like, okay, bye family.
But I mean, seeing dead cats is not maybe unusual because of the storm.
It's the
If
way they
if
died.
If they were on the island, maybe they drowned. But it's the fact that they got a piss eating up from their neck.
A piece.
A piss.
A piss?
No, a piece.
Piece?
Sorry. A piece. Something bite them off.
It's like an animal or something went on a rampage and killed a bunch of cats. But then if it was an animal, the cats would not just be, you know, missing pieces. They'd be eaten.
Chunk, yeah.
They would be completely gone. Like the animal would have eaten the whole thing, not just little pieces. So yeah, this is not normal. And this is when you should probably be like, okay, I'm leaving. Fuck this.
It's weird, yeah.
Okay, so we got a bunch of characters. We got our setting. I mean, you were asking why it's always in those sorts of places that horror stuff happens.
Vulnerability.
Yeah, it's because we're far away from everyone else. And it's also, and I was saying, you know, I'm excited to see how they're going to take this because it's not the first time we've seen religion in horror stuff. It's always a good... I mean, it's a good idea to take it and use it in horror stuff because you can do so much with religion. It could be about how the mindset, like, it's the mindset of the people, it's the way they are used to seeing things, or how they're used to reading signs.
Usually you can use that as a beacon of hope for your characters, or an obstacle to
No, I'm
go
talking
through.
about in this setting.
Okay.
Using
Obstacle,
religion you could go many ways, but it could have an impact on how, you know, the population is going to react to what's going to happen, how, you know, they're going to get, because as things get intense, they will have to react and they will freak out. But religion being very important for all of them, it could dictate how they're going to react. It could dictate how much they're going to panic or what they're going to blame this on and how late or soon they're going to react to this and what they're going to do. So I'm excited to see what direction they're going to take it because I've seen a lot of movies and a lot of shows, horror stuff about religion.
But yeah, seeing Miss or Mrs. Skane acting, like you said, she does remind me of the old lady from Mist. So I am expecting her to cause trouble in the future.
Well, that's the thing. If she reminds us of that woman from Mist, the woman from Mist went crazy saying this was, you know, God punishing everyone and they should start feeding people to the monsters. So that's one way you can take religion, you know, where their beliefs actually turn out to be a bad thing. Or it could turn out to be a good thing. Like, it depends on what they want to do with this.
She might even think that, oh, we need to get rid of the sinners, like the
Yes.
single mother to be and the guy who went to jail.
It could turn into that because he came back and then a bunch of dead cats turned up.
Both of them came back.
Well, she was back. She has been back for months, though.
That's not long ago, then.
I mean, he came back and the day after, cats were dead.
Okay, yeah.
So, and then, but I mean, we see that, you know, there's also the priest that showed up and then the next day, cats were dead. Although they had been killed before he showed up, but, I don't think it's a coincidence that they thought they saw the actual, what's his name?
Monseigneur Priet.
Anyway, him, they thought they saw him. He had the hat, like they said. So was that an illusion, or was it really supposed to be like him? And in this case, he's dead for sure. But then what happened? And the detail of, we don't know what's in the chest. We don't know what was in the chest. We know it's no longer in the chest. And the detail of the dirt on the floor means that whatever was in that chest, he took it, he went outside with it, and he buried it, and he brought dirt into the home after. So that's for sure. Whatever was in there is now buried somewhere.
Unless something was inside the chest and just get out of the chest.
You would not notice it? He's sitting right next to it. He left the chest open, the dirt trail, he's just chilling.
With that detail, okay, you're right then.
And it was locked. It was closed and locked. So, like, I think he unlocked it, but still, I think he's the one that took whatever was in there and took it outside.
It's so suspicious, so we need to look into it.
And the fact that he, I don't think it's a coincidence or a mistake that, he wore the gold, I'll say uniform because I'm not, I'm not used,
Just say robe.
He wore the gold one, and when someone noticed it and was like, you didn't wear the green one? Like, it was the gold one? Why? He was kind of taken aback, like, oh shit, someone knows about this? Whoa, okay, you're a nitpicking freak. He came up with an excuse for that right away, talking about his mental health and stuff like that, and he must have forgotten, I couldn't find it. Sure. I feel like, they're painting him as the potential villain.
It is true also that he used the old version for the verset. So do you think that maybe he's not a priest?
I don't care what he is. I'm saying he is involved in
no,
what's
I know
gonna
he's
happen.
involved, but if he didn't know about the green robe and that the new verset for the mass, he might not be a real priest then.
It's not about knowing about the new or no. He said the words in Latin, the old ones in Latin.
You just read you read a book.
Not necessarily. He knew. You don't just when you do a mass, you don't when he started the whole thing. He knew what to say. Like, you can't just read the Bible and do the mass.
I'm gonna say something. I might think that this guy is not a real priest.
I did say in the episode. You're not coming up with anything new. In the episode, I did a joke about how he could probably not be a
but
priest.
maybe your joke might come true in the future.
Well, he knows his stuff anyway. Like, I think he, maybe the robe was a mistake, but I'm seeing it more as this was a special occasion, and he was the only one that knew about it, so that's why he wore that robe. That's how I'm reading it.
All right.
But we'll see. Like, as far as we know, he could not be a priest, and he could just be there for something completely different. But then he pretended to be a priest because he needs sacrifices or something. But
it is to hide in plain sight.
this has a tone of satanic rituals, so we'll have to see where this goes. But there is definitely a thing out there that the kids saw. Do they call it the Upperts?
Upperts?
I don't remember. The place they went to that you need to, canoe your way over and then drink and smoke and then come back and not die. So they saw a shape that stood up and was probably eating cats. So that thing is out there. I don't know what it is, but it's out there. And we know they're not afraid to go into the supernatural. So this could be an actual monster thing. So I'm excited. I did get a lot of flashbacks about our childhood when it comes to mass and stuff, which for a sec, I related a little bit to the two main characters, sort of. Aaron and Riley? I'm messing up the names probably. Or I'm right. I'm bad with names, so give me like 2 episodes.
Was it Riley the guy's name?
Yeah, the guy, and Aaron the girl?
Yeah, Aaron and Riley, yeah.
So yeah, these two I kind of connect a little bit. You get raised. It wasn't half as intense in our hometown. The religion side of things.
Special occasion and sometimes on Sundays.
It was far from being as intense, but it was probably kind of like that for our parents. And I remember sitting, in church, even on special occasions, and trying to find some sense into what I was hearing to make it less boring, because I did not connect with any of this. and yet you have to do those things, and you have to do, you know, the, I'm sorry for the terms in English because I don't know them. We're French, but communion, confirmation, and stuff like that. All the little things that you do to basically get initiated to Christianism, sort of. And, you know, as a kid, at least us, we didn't care, we didn't connect with it, but our parents did, so we kind of had to do it. And it's it was giving you that vibe, you know, where they were the rebel kids who'd never really connected with this, and they wanted to leave, and they did eventually, but it turned out to be shit for them. So for him, I get it. I think that he lost his way for sure. And then when he found himself in prison, he really tried to find absolution, sort of, like he wanted to be forgiven for what happened, because he's seeing that ghost every night.
Yeah.
And he really tried to maybe be at peace with himself, and he tried with every religion, but then just believing in a god is not gonna get rid of your guilt, you know. He needs to be at peace with himself first. So
I really love the fact that when we saw those shot of him alone at sea,
they
in
were
a
pretty
small
cool,
boat,
yeah.
and the church tinted with blood, because like I did say that maybe he had a vision of what might come in the future, but you said that he dreamt of him tinting, by his presence, gonna be tinting the church.
Yeah, he's been, because like, I'm trying to put myself in his mind here. He was raised through religion, with religion, like it was heavy in his family and in his community. I don't think he would mock religion, but then he tried to connect with it. Like, he wanted to separate himself from it, but he wouldn't mock it, you know, because it was his entire life. It's just he rebelled against it. And then when he really needed it, he couldn't find an answer. So maybe he's seeing this as, I'm no longer worthy of being considered, you know, a follower of any religion, because he didn't get any answer from any religion.
But I think it's mostly due to the fact that he's kind of lost right now.
Well, yeah, I mean, yes.
He's vulnerable, lost, and helpless.
He is. He's sitting in a boat in the middle of the
ocean,
sea.
Ocean without any nothing's to roll.
No, he does have them. He's just not using them.
They're not working.
How can they not be working?
I don't know. I don't know.
Anyway, he is lost. Like he said, he doesn't have any purpose. So basically, if you put him in that boat in the middle of the ocean, he just doesn't know where to row, because he doesn't know like what he wants next. He needs to figure that out first. So maybe coming back here is gonna help. Although it's a horror show, stuff is gonna happen. I don't think the timing is amazing. As for her, it looks like she was also pretty lost, but then her purpose was given to her with the baby. So, but in her case, she's really shying away from those answers, so we need to know what happened to her. And
maybe she had a bad relationship with her husband. She escaped by coming back home. Maybe she lost her husband. She just divorced and she got lost in life.
Well, she didn't divorce technically. She said, I'm married, but sort of not.
So
She
bad
left.
relationship.
You know, she just left. So maybe not a bad relationship. Maybe she just, you know, it was her decision because things didn't work. Like, we don't know. Like, you're jumping to bad relationship right away, but like maybe it has there's more to it. In any case, things did not go well for her out there. And then she ended up pregnant, and she sought refuge in her hometown. Like they said, like, he used to be the altar boy and she used to be the rebel that didn't want to do any religion stuff. And now she's going to church and he doesn't connect with it. Yeah. Their story is not over. I mean, it looks like they had they had something going, but then he wanted to stay to do his thing and she wanted to leave to do her thing, so she left. But they never really ended things, maybe. So, because he still seems interested. And when she saw him, she smiled. So I don't think she despises him or anything. So we'll see. We'll see. But I'm glad to see a lot of characters, well, a lot of actors from the previous shows we saw with Mike Flanagan. And cinematography is still pretty amazing. The shots were cool and the settings were great. It does remind me of home, even though it's more intense than what it used to be at home. This is, I mean, we get that, you know, a small community. Yeah. Everyone knows everyone. And people gossip. I wanted to talk about how, you know, the priest saw Riley did not want to do the communion thing.
Yeah.
And he was like, oh, so basically you're not at peace and you can't find faith and stuff. Well, we're gonna work together and stuff. And I was reminded of how it would bother me, you know, if I was in his shoes at the time when I was a kid, you know, and I used to force myself to, you know, like church because I had to, we had to be there, and I did not connect. I was like, why would you even care? Like, but that's how things were back then. The priest is involved in every household, and he's involved with the faith of everyone. And if there is one person that doesn't want to follow the church, it's his job to go to that person and teach them. I would just be sitting there and be like, that's not your business. If I don't want to do this, I don't have to. But then, like I said, it's such a place, you know, separated from everyone else, where they're still stuck in religion, that religion takes place in every aspect of their lives, which is why I'm excited to see where they're going to take this. Because it could go really bad. It could go really bad.
I'm glad that we saw the parents' reaction to the son coming back home. We got the mom who is so just happy to have her son back, and we got the dad who is uncomfortable with the situation. He doesn't like it. But is still trying to make some sort of compromise.
He's not a bad person. I feel like he's ashamed, you know, of what happened and of what his son did. But he's not, you know, sending him out on the street, and he did make an effort. So there's that. It would have been hard to... I mean, it's not like the guy doesn't deserve resentment. He did kill someone because he was drunk. It's hard to forgive.
He made a mistake that ended up in someone's death.
He is paying for that, you know, through the visions and the guilt and the prison too. Not like so like I do understand the father's feelings, but if he had kept being angry at his son and kept, you know, not agreeing and pushing him away and stuff, it would have gotten old really fast. So basically, like, it's fine to resent, you know, what happened. It's fine to keep a reminder of it, but then you got to, I mean, if you still want a relationship with your son, you got to make your peace with it.
Wrong, because technically if the church is a huge part in their daily life, technically the church is teaching you to forgive your kind and to...
It doesn't mean you have to be fine with it.
To have your neighbor. So yeah, I think he's in a difficult situation right now, because that's his son. He did something bad that he doesn't approve of, but
it's not like it's bad right now. Like, he made efforts, and they talked, and they were fine with each other at the end of the episode. It was just cold when he came in, you know, into the house, which I get and I understand. And like I said, if it had kept going like this, maybe it would have gotten old fast, but then that's not what happened. So he's good. So at least it looks like he's good. And I'm glad, because it's Elliot Froso. Okay, so that was episode 1. Like I said, I'm excited for the rest of the show. I want to see where they're going to take this. And the mystery is already set, so we're going to ask questions. And yeah, that's pretty much it.
Yeah.
So thank you guys so much for watching this episode with us. If you want to see the next episode right away, it is on Patreon already. You can check it out. The link is in the description below.
Yeah, and if you don't want out, the next one will be out on YouTube next week, guys. So, see you then.
Bye.